Yeah, thanks everybody for your patience. I know technology, it's always right at the beginning of a demo. It seems like everything kind of breaks. So again, thanks for being here. Today, our agenda, I'm going to make sure most of it is spent in a demo environment, because a lot of what's going on in the market today around Jet and with the kind of chatter with Microsoft's direction and all the changes that are coming, I just want everybody to have a great understanding coming out of here of what reports you can build with Jet, all three versions, that is, what kind of reports, and then also what it looks like in real time, how to build these reports from scratch, and what are the differences between all of them. You know, these are common questions that we get. So to start off with, a little bit about who I am. I am the Dynamics GP channel manager, and I am really passionate about the changes that are taking place in the market today. So in June of 2016, we launched a partnership with Microsoft to really empower the GP community for a long-term roadmap for reporting. And that's really what I'm passionate about, is I'm seeing so many positive changes with folks who are switching over, and we're excited about it. And we're excited about InterDyn and in the partnership we have here. And there's just so many opportunities. There's only so many opportunities in a day to learn. So I'm going to make sure to cram as much in here so you get all these questions answered. But I do want to start with kind of a question, a little bit different, but think of the reason why you came today. So that burning question or the curiosity that you have about Jet, or maybe even your own environment. Maybe there's some challenges with your current environment. So whatever that burning reason or question is, I want you to have with you today. And if for some reason I don't answer that as I'm going through the demo, I know that there is opportunity to follow up, but I'm also going to leave a little bit of time at the end for some Q&A. So I do want you to keep whatever that burning desire or reason that you came to learn more about Jet, whatever that is, maybe jot it down and just make sure that it gets answered today, because again, there's a lot of information out there about Jet. Some of it's true and some of it maybe not so much. So I'm here to kind of clear the air and then talk about what our reporting tools do. So Jet has been around for 15 years. I have the feeling and the sense that we're kind of the new kid on the block to GP, which is really exciting. Admittedly, we probably haven't done much marketing, but the idea behind the Microsoft endorsement is the 15-year track record. We've amassed 10,000 unique businesses all over the world that rely on Jet every day for their reporting. Okay, so when it comes to track record and strength of product vision, that's really where we shine. And I already talked about this, but we're headquartered in Portland, Oregon. These are our offices all over the world. So we're much more than just a U.S. presence. We have very close ties to Microsoft, both here and abroad. So lots of offices, lots of really great people working for Jet. And yeah, this slide here, the reason that I have this is I want to talk a little bit about scalability, because I know that's the main driving factor behind the three different solutions we offer, is that every business has different needs. Every company has different challenges and different kinds of reports that they're wanting to take on. And we work with every size and shape you can imagine. Talking Rain is actually the third largest beverage provider still in the US behind Coke and Pepsi. And we also work with like really small companies. I think there was it was a potato farm just the other day with 2 employees is using us. So reporting is one of those horizontal activities, meaning no matter what industry you're in or what challenges that you may be running into when it comes to getting your data out of GP. When you think of Jet, if you remember anything from this introduction at all, just remember we're the data people. We just make it really easy to get your data for the average business person out of GP into a friendly environment so you can spend more time analyzing the information instead of constantly building it up. Okay, so I talked a little bit about product vision. This is a funny meme that I put on here, but it's real. You know, technology changes are coming, the future is changing, and we're perfectly positioned to empower anyone that's already invested in a Dynamics platform for both now and in the future. So with that being said, this has a lot to do with the Microsoft endorsement that Kim alluded to and the direction that we're headed. So from someone in your shoes, I mean, I know why it's important that you know, we kind of have this backing from Microsoft, but for you, as someone who has already made that investment into a Dynamics platform, just know you're talking about a company that is in lockstep with the vision of Microsoft and has created solutions at their request. So we're an open book to them, and we integrate with all of their solutions. So Jet Express is one of the solutions we offer. We won't be spending too much time on that today, but I do know there's probably a couple folks on the call who are curious about what it is. It's a very successful tool. It is simply an Excel add-in. It's available for download from our website today, so you can go in and download the software. It is real-time reporting, and it is intended, really there's 2 pieces of functionality to Jet Express. One is financial report building, so cell-by-cell level design of financial reports, as well as ad hoc database queries. So meaning, you know, any table, field, or view that's in GP, I would have the ability to go in and run some pivot tables from. So the idea behind Jet Express is to first off provide a nice first step for anybody looking at Jet, so you can get a good feel for what reporting is like with low risk, but also for those smaller businesses, this is a great way, again, to have no risk and to explore Jet's features and functionality and have that self-service reporting tool right at your fingertips. So a couple of questions I usually get about Jet is it backwards compatible? Yes, it's compatible all the way back to version 9. You know, what kind of training is there? You'll find all of that at our website, which is just simply jetreports.com. And I'll probably hop there too to show some example reports later in the demo. But I do want to make sure that you, everyone on the call has a good understanding of what Jet Express is. So as good as the free tool is, and in my opinion, it is the best free tool on the market, I've heard quite often, to my surprise, that some folks are actually kind of tired of the free tool scenario, specifically in GP. And one of the things about transitioning from either FRX or management reporters to Jet, I want you to know, is you're getting in lockstep again with a company that's not going anywhere. So strong vision. So no matter what solution you're on and you switch over, you're never going to have to switch again. but I do want to highlight some of the main reasons that someone switches from the free tool to Jet Professional, and then I'm going to hop out of here and actually show some reports. So Jet Professional, really the two big ones are going to be the ability to schedule and distribute reports automatically, and the ability to click down to the actual transaction or journal entry level with one click. The web portal is great. It was released last summer, and we'll probably start to
All right. Maybe it's just me, but I think I have lost Michael's voice. Give it a couple seconds here. Annette Brown, I've taken you off mute. Can you hear Michael, or is it just me?
I can hear. Well, no, I can't. I can hear you, but I can't hear Michael.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. All right. Hold on for 1 second, everybody. Guess I'm not the only one having trouble here today. All right, everybody, sorry about this. Just give it a couple more minutes. There'd be a snag in the internet.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome back.
Welcome back is right. Yeah, you're definitely
Okay.
not the only one having problems today.
I guess. All right, take it away.
Yeah, let's just keep on trucking. So like I said, I am going to show how to build some reports. So I'm just going to move right into our report design. So you do get canned reports with Jet. You're definitely never starting from scratch no matter what solution you're on. With Jet Professional, you will get 45 pre-built out-of-the-box reports designed for your GP environment. This happens to be one of them. This is a salesperson scorecard. But I want to show you for the person who's actually consuming the reports, those are called viewers. So with all of our solutions, you do receive unlimited viewers, meaning you can disseminate this information to as many folks as you would like. Okay, so what I want to show is when the end viewer or consumer of this report refreshes, you do actually have some built-in report options that the designer of this report made available for them to toggle between. So if I wanted to say change the date range, I could change it right here. I could even change what sales folks that I'm actually wanting to return information on. So the reason I show this is when I go into the design feature, you see a little button over here that says publish. So this salesperson scorecard, especially for anybody in this day and age, travel is, I almost feel like, expected on almost no matter what position you're in. So this is a great example of one that I would want to share. So I can share via the scheduler, or I can publish this to the web. So if I publish this to the web, and I'll log in here. Maybe. Great. And so when I log in here, I think under the sales team, I have this salesperson scorecard right here. So at the bottom of this window pane, when I click run, which is right here at the bottom left, we see those same report options still available to us up in the web. So when you load this and share this with someone who's on the go, just know that those report options will still be available. So if I wanted to say, maybe we'll slice down on a few of these folks. We'll say, I don't know, we'll do the first 4. And so this will query the live database. It'll return the information up into the web. And now the person viewing this report, it can be done on any device that connects to the internet. So it could be a cell phone, laptop, tablet, you know, whatever is easiest for them, because you no longer need Excel and you no longer need Jet. We're just utilizing the free version of Excel online. And we should see, which we do, that looks kind of funny. Maybe those 2 people are brand new. Hopefully we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But you know, the idea holds true is that anybody who's on the go can get access to that information once it's been loaded into the web. So really great feature of Jet Professional. Now, the funny thing is this was birthed obviously for this reason, but also client feedback. So you don't last for 15 years as a successful company if you don't listen to your clients. And one of the challenges that our folks were running into with the reports is they didn't really necessarily have a central repository. So, you know, you can send these to shared network drives and shared network folders, but this web portal acts as a place to store all of your reports. So under this details tab, if I'm the owner of this report, meaning that I designed it, I have the option to share this with other folks. And you can actually create groups or just specific users, and it actually adds a layer of security and keeps all of your reports just in that one central location. So with that, there's also were questions about needing to maybe revert back to previous versions of reports, and that's where the version control was born. So whenever you have a report that's loaded into web, you'll have access to both the utilization history, you know, how many times has this report been ran, but also if I wanted to revert back to an older version of a report, now I can. I can download or run it here right from the web. So no matter how long this report has been up there, it's storing those previous versions as changes or shifts have been made in your organization. Scheduling also is a great way to share reports. That can be done both from the Excel file itself, so right in the Jet ribbon, or here in the web. And when we create a new task, it's pretty straightforward. You could even schedule all of your month-end financials to show up in your inbox at the end of every month. So instead of you know, dumping the information to Excel and manually running this report, which I know some of you do, you can actually create the report once, format it the way that you'd like, and then schedule it to run indefinitely with just a click of a few buttons. So really huge time saver. You can actually schedule in batches, and you can even send these any way you can share an Excel file, meaning, you know, web page, PDF, maybe just an Excel file, whatever's easiest for you. So we also have a dashboard section, which I'll get into with Jet Enterprise, but this is just kind of a little taste of the mobile platform for our dashboards, where you can log in, and same idea. You have kind of this mobile environment. Any device that connects to the internet can pull these high-level analysis and KPIs across your entire organization and get that information on the go. So really great way to leverage the web portal, and I want to make sure that you saw everything that was up here. So like this finance one, for example, is really great because if I drill into this visual, all of these are actually slicers. So I can change the information I'm looking at with just the click of a button. You're almost swiping through it like an iPad. So pretty slick. So that's the web portal in a nutshell. These two buttons, so reports and scheduler, are available with Jet Professional. If we're looking at dashboards, that will be included with Jet Enterprise. So if I go back into Excel, and I'll go ahead and open up a new workbook here, I'm going to show one of the customer favorites within Jet Professional, which is actually our Jet browser. So before I keep moving, I want to make sure you have a pretty good introduction to what this ribbon is. Really, as you can see, it just bolts into the user's Excel, but very easy to toggle here between what company you're reporting on, as well as if you have more data sources than just GP, what data sources are you connecting to. And the browser function is one of our many design options. And this tool can do a ton of stuff. Again, I'm just focusing on some of what I would have heard and have seen over the years is the customer favorite tool. And the reason that the browser is so popular, because it truly is a drag and drop reporting environment. So if I scroll up to the top here, I want to show a couple of things. So one is as you scroll through, this is every table, field, and view inside of GP. You can see some analytical accounting here. But as you continue to scroll, you'll notice that we've added friendly names in here as well. So where the average business person, who's not necessarily a SQL expert, can now come in and view this information and pull it into Excel and format it however they see fit. We've also delivered a custom set of SQL views. So they start with the word Jet. And again, this is based upon customer feedback. We found that the average report writer really only uses 10 to 15 tables, maybe 100 or so fields for their reporting. So we've consolidated all those commonly reported on tables and fields into some custom views that come right out of the box with Jet Professional. So if I go to like this Jet Customer Master, you see there's also a little star. One other great feature we've added, which is definitely not breakthrough technology, but it does make life easier, is this little favorites button. So I can star my most commonly used within the browser, and now when I come in, I can quickly get to that information. So let's say I'm using this Jet Customer Master view, and as I'm scrolling through, I'm curious, what is this address code? Or what is this cash received? There's actually a mini drill down available before you pull that information in, right over here on the right, which can be really great as a time saver if you're not quite sure what information maybe is contained in that field. So I'll build a quick report about maybe our customers. So I'll let me grab customer number and name, grab state and balance. Okay, so I literally just dragged and dropped that onto the worksheet, and it wrote all of the formula for me. So the formula was coded, all the information is here. If I click refresh, this actually gives me everything that I asked for. So it queried the live database, pulled back all the information. Granted, it doesn't look all that great, but again, since we're in Excel, there's a huge advantage to being able to couple my reporting with Excel functionality. So maybe I'll do something quick here. We'll say like maybe this is a projection report of some sort, so we're going to multiply this by 8%. We can actually auto summarize some of this. Pretty easy. This fit, so the first row and first column in Jet are reserved for our functions. One is that you see here is hide, which will hide our function, which is how we got the information from our end viewer, because they're not really all that concerned about how we got to the information. They just want the information. And this fit makes it really great because it automatically expands my column. So I'm not actually cutting things off like customer name here, as you can see. Maybe I'll add a little bit of color here too. Whoops. We'll do blue. And you know, since we're in Excel, you can even add a visual too, right? So I'll grab maybe the name and the balance, and I'll put in a column chart here. So I'm going to refresh this again just to show you what it looks like with the column chart. So as we scroll down, we're going to see that all the information is tied to this graph. We didn't have to do anything additional to get all of that information in there, but it is a little too much information, and I know for a fact anybody on this call has examples that would put this one to shame, where you have thousands of lines of information. So with Jet Professional, there is access to advanced filtering. So one of those is here in the function wizard called the NL, where I can actually go in and filter on the information ahead of time to slice down the information. So this gives me access to all of the fields within this particular table. So as I scroll through, I see all the fields, right? But I've pulled in a select few, so I'm going to pull balance. And here's the transactional information. So I could select a specific number in here. I have access to all of my standard operators. So if I was doing a range of accounts, like in a financial report, we'll see here in a second, maybe you could union a couple of account ranges. You can absolutely do that. I'm just gonna, because I'm pretty familiar with the sample data, I'm gonna say greater than 5,000. It's probably a good way to slice it. And then we also have state in here, correct? Yep. So we'll grab state. And again, here's your drop down, super easy to use. We'll just say, I don't know, I think we have Illinois, Iowa, or Wisconsin. So I'm using the standard operator for or here and just putting this information in quotes. So now our first record of information did update, and that should have trimmed down the information enough. I'm not a big fan of the grid lines, but if I go back to Jet and I'll hit refresh, here you see it. So much cleaner example. Our visual interacts well with the data. So at this point, really the only thing left to do would to be add like probably a company logo and maybe what we're filtering on as well. So really that's the idea behind Jet, is powerful usability for that average end user to get in and create these ad hoc database queries. So and I think Excel is fighting with me a little bit now too, which is great. So the next example that I'm going to show you is a financial example. And one of the more requested types of reports is something broken out by segment. Now granted, we have a ton of sample reports that cover everything from a basic trial balance to as advanced as consolidating information. Oh, for some reason it was on the wrong sheet. Okay, so from consolidating multiple companies. So I do want to show what an example looks like of the consolidated reports. So hopefully this doesn't have me log in again. So if I go back to my reports tab, maybe this is in here. Here we go. Consolidated P&L. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this from the web. We have our date ranges built in. I'll go ahead and query the database here. And you saw that date range built in as a user-defined option in this example. That is one way to do the date range. It's the way that I would recommend. I'm going to show another way where you can actually reference from the workbook, but this is what a consolidated P&L looks like, where we leverage Excel functionality to consolidate the two, and it's very easy to do on the fly. So we have these pre-built reports right out of the box, so again, you're not starting from scratch. So, but if you were starting from scratch, I'm going to show you how you would build trial balance by segment. So I'll go back to my jet ribbon, and under the GL tab is where we would create our financial reports. So if I go to, I'm going to actually hard code in a date range that I know will work with our sample data. But when I go to the GL, really all it is it's a list of questions. And all I do as the report designer is just answer them in order. So under the where, it's just asking, where would you like the information returned? So in this case, when I click the drop down, I could do cell by cell, return in rows or columns. In this case, I want a new sheet for each of my, maybe we'll call my segment 1 division. So for each division, I would like a new sheet. And then down below, I'm going to request the information that I'd like to see. So I'd like to see the account number, the name, the balance, the budget, and the variance between the two. And then I'll hop in here. In this case, best to return information in rows. So that's what I'm going to select. What would I like to see? I'd actually like to see a list of accounts. And then which account? I do always have access to the drop-down menu where I can select specific accounts or a range of accounts, whatever's best. In this scenario, though, instead of selecting a specific account, I'm actually going to go down to my division and just say, hey, please look up here, and whatever division you see, pull a list of accounts from that. So next section is name. I actually don't need to fill where out again. I can just go to the what. I'd like to see the account name. Again, I have a drop down if I wanted to grab any specific accounts or do a range of accounts if I was doing a different kind of report. But for this example, and since I'm in Excel, I'm just going to reference over here on the workbook. So now I have a name for each of those accounts. Hop into balance. What would I like to see? I'd like to see the balance for which account. Oh, this one right over here. And then I have my start period and end period, and I'm just going to hard code those in. So this is another way to build in your date range on the report. And since balance and budget are pretty much identical, I'm just going to change one, which is the what do I want to see from balance to budget. And right here, you can easily change what budget you're wanting to pull from, as well as if you wanted to pull from a different company. So those drop downs are available right here in the GL. And then variance, pretty easy. This is, again, is just Excel, where I'll subtract the two. And then I'll just kind of clean it up. That's really the only thing left. And then I am going to show something that's pretty slick that's actually been getting requested more and more. So I make sure to show folks this. So at this point, the report is done. I'm going to refresh it here for the first time. And this will query the live database. It'll grab the information that I've requested and return it back in the format that I have requested. So we should see our 100s, 200s, and so on and so forth, which we do. Now, the question that I usually get for anybody who's in accounting or finance, how do I hide the zero balances? Like, I'm not interested in that. So I'll show you a quick bonus feature. It's called a conditional hide. And this is the one of many ways that we integrate with Microsoft solutions, because all we're doing is combining a simple if-then statement with JET functionality. So I'm going to say if this cell over here equals 0, please hide that in my report. And if not, go ahead and show that. I'll simply click refresh, and then this pulls again the live information, but at this point I only see information that has a balance associated with it. Holds true for all of them. And let's say, you know, maybe if I go back to my cash operating account, this one right here, and now I would like visibility into this information. Super easy, just to click once, and we get access to the transactional detail. So this drill down has actually been revamped for the GP user, meaning that since we read subledger information, we can drill all the way back to the transaction level. I don't think this example has transactions, nope, but it holds true. You can open multiple tabs at the same time, and you can even export this information back to Excel. So it allows you to dynamically go from one level to the next, depending on where the information is coming from. So really great feature, really simple to use, and really that's the GL from the ground up. So we've covered a lot of ground with JET Professional. We've seen just most recently the drill down. We talked about the web portal. We saw a drag and drop environment. We also explored a little bit of the advanced filtering. So these are some of the high level features that are available with JET Professional as you move up in our product tier. The next product that I'm going to cover in the last, I don't know, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes at the most, is going to be JET Enterprise. And I'm going to start off by actually building a dashboard and loading it to the web. So business intelligence is kind of one of those funny conversations where, you know, you could ask 3 or 4 different people, you know, what is business intelligence, and you're most likely going to get, you know, 3 or 4 different answers. But from a JET perspective, we're a traditional business intelligence company in that it's all about the back end data. And really what I mean by that is if any traditional reporting tool that someone's using, the burden does still get placed on that end user to define the relationships between the information to create more complex or high level reports. So what JET Enterprise brings to the table is the ability to connect to additional data sources. So maybe you have GP and Salesforce, or GP and CRM, or, you know, most likely there are other sources of data that you're using. It's just a matter of figuring out which ones are important for reporting. And then once we've combined all that, we see this great output where not only do we have a data warehouse, but we have these cubes, which is radically simplifying the experience for your end user or your report designer. So over here on the left, we see one of these pre-built cubes. This is our sales cube. There's 7. So it ranges from everything to sales to inventory to obviously finance and purchase and payables, but I'll use sales because it's kind of a universal example. And we have our measures, which are numerical values here, and then we have our dimensions, which are what really add relevance or context to the information that I'm pulling into my dashboard. So first thing I'll do, up here in the left-hand corner, these are the visuals I can select from. So I can just grab like a pie chart here, maybe make this a little bit bigger, and I'll just grab, let's grab like, we'll do sales by salesperson, right? That's always good. So here you go, and these are very easy to customize. So I can add a title here, so we'll say sales by salesperson, whoops. And I actually prefer the legend at the bottom for this one in particular. Maybe you want to add those little percentage points. And you can see here now the visual, visually it looks a little bit different, right? So that was pretty easy to do. And now this drag and drop environment again can be done by anyone, as you can see. So I'm actually going to build one where I can show you some of the filtering. So we'll grab something with too much information. We'll grab item and let's do profit. Yeah, so lots of information there. Really easy to filter on the information. If I go to this window pane up here in the upper left, I'm just going to click on profit and I can just do top 10, and maybe I just want top 5 actually. There you go. So, and then we can just call this top 5 items by profit. Okay, easy enough. We'll grab a donut chart next for the final one here at the bottom. And we can grab, let's do sales maybe by a category. Let's see here. Do item category. Yeah, great. Perfect. So sales by item category. Great. And then this next one I always want to show because it's just, again, one of those customer favorites we commonly have requested to be included in someone's dashboard, which is the range slicer. And the reason it's popular is it acts as a slicer and a visual at the same time. So now that as a company we've agreed upon, in the background, so in the data warehouse and cubes, what profit actually means, instead of leaving this up to our end users, it's great to pull into any report. So I'll grab profit and sales, and I want to see this over time, right? So we'll grab our posting date real quick. Yeah, so we have this great trend of sales and profit over time now, and I'll just name it that. Great way to have your key performance indicators available at your fingertips. And then we'll add, we'll add some slicers here real quick, and then we'll publish this and open it up for questions. So maybe we'll slice this by quarter, and you could have any type of date indicator if you operate on something different. Maybe we'll do location, and maybe we'll do the product group up here as well. So great, and then all that's left is really just to add a title. So we'll just call this global sales. Let me just probably make that a little bit bigger. Bold it, underline it. We'll just move that over here. Oops. And there's different themes. So if you wanted to make this really shine, you can go to the little theme section. And I actually prefer a couple of our other themes for this. So this one really makes it pop. And then all that I do is I go to the dashboard, I save, and now this is loaded up into the web. So if I go back, might make me log in again here. Nope, beautiful. Go to our dashboards, here we go, global sales. So the person who's wanting this information can just hop in here now and then slice and dice on the information as needed. So maybe they just want to see, one of the warehouses in particular. They can zoom in, see that there's only a couple sales folks, but see where the profitability lies. And really, that's where the power of BI lies, is spotting those trends and making business decisions on maybe those 2 or 3 really key performance indicators that allow your business to be dynamic in the marketplace and also make an impact on your employees. So BI has been one of those scary words, but I can tell you from a time and initial investment standpoint, it's not what it used to be. It used to be very long, cumbersome process. Now, specific with Jet, we actually have a pre-built project that installs in 2 hours. We have a great budgeting tool that's on the horizon, and this is where we really start talking about those custom KPIs. If anybody's on multi-currency, it becomes much easier. And the data-driven decisions, I think, are one of the biggest values, is because I don't necessarily go in here and build this every day. But if I have a question about something in my business, you did see the cubes there, and how easy is it to just drag that information into a dashboard or into Excel, and now I can make decisions based upon the information at my fingertips because it's so fast. That was a lot of information, and that was happening very fast. We weren't waiting for anything to refresh. So all of that is available with Jet Enterprise, which is arguably one of the most popular and asked about tools up and coming. So we did cover a lot of ground. I do want to make sure we open this up for Q&A. So I guess I'm done.
I'm here.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Great job, Michael. Okay, everybody. On the right-hand side, you're going to see an area where it has questions. I don't see anything in the queue right now, so let's go ahead and type in those questions so that we can get you some answers before we go. All right, here we go. Does Jet report only on GP, or can you also report your data that you might have in a SAS cube or mixed data with data from GP?
Yep, great question. Yes, the short answer is we can combine any data together, any of the information.
Yeah, matter of fact, just to kind of give you the lay of the land, Jet has always been the reporting tool Microsoft has recommended on the NAV product. And so since they've done such a great job there, they asked them to come in for GP as well. So it does work with a number of other ERP solutions and other products. All right. All right. Anything else, Michael, that you could think is a common question? I guess from my perspective, when I'm working with clients, I have got some happy customers out there that have literally taken their MR reports, their management reporter reports, and moved them over to your Jet Express product, and they're real happy because everybody's comfortable with Excel. And yet I still have other customers that have gone into your other products with professional and enterprise. Is there anything that would help everybody on the phone to determine what level that they would be looking at in getting involved with you, and how do they go about learning what level they should be at?
Yeah, that is an awesome question. Truthfully, there isn't a perfect answer. I've come to find that every GP reporting situation is definitely unique, but I can position the two Excel add-ins versus Jet Enterprise pretty well for the GP user. So if you're looking at your environment and you have multiple data sources, so one of the questions was about maybe a pre-built cube that you have, or an in-house data warehouse, maybe even CRM, right, or some other platform that's connecting to your whole organization, and you've always wondered what it would be like to have everybody, all the information together in one place. And you know, it sounds super complicated, so maybe we haven't investigated it, but anyone who's in that situation or is looking to upgrade their solution, definitely Jet Enterprise can be a huge time saver and a huge advantage for you. When I position the free tool versus the paid product, one thing that typically comes up is going to be the desire to drill down with just one click of a button. But when it comes to specific report design, so meaning I don't know, maybe someone's using a tree, right? Those questions I would encourage you to reach out to InterDyn with, and then they'll have access to our resources and we can work through that, those specific report writing. But at a high level, those are the most common things that I see.
Yeah, and as a bonus, what I'd like to do, Michael, if you could forward me your deck, I'm going to go ahead and send everybody a follow-up email that I typically use with clients that not only has recordings of the different products, but also some questions, so we can kind of skip some steps there and get right down to answering some of their questions. So that email will be coming from me to everybody on the line, and then you can follow up with your account manager, and if you don't know who that is, just get back to me. I also wanted to mention we were having technical difficulties in the beginning, that we also have our sister company on the line here. So there are clients and employees from Tridea, which is an organization that our company has purchased here this year. And so welcome, welcome. We're going to have you at a number of our Let's Learn webinars, and I hope you enjoyed today's webinar session and learning more about JET. So welcome to the family. I will also email you that information, and somebody from Tridea will be following up with you if you are a client of that office. So with that being said, that's what you can expect, and also you will get pointed. We do record all of our webinars, and so you'll get an email following up from us asking, pointing you to the webinar recording as well, so that you can go back, re-listen, and share that with folks in the office. Thank you so much, Michael, as always. Love working with you. Thank you so much for your time, and everybody, have a great day. Any last words before we let folks go?